You know, we can't measure a life by how many years we had. We have to measure it by what we brought. What did this life bring to the table of life?
She just had a really good heart.
She was just really giving, not competitive, and very generous.
Her spirit was always real considerate to others and everything.
I just really looked up to Tracy from day one. She was just so calm and cool and collected and fun.
The exhibit that's on our classroom walls here at the Nature Center was sort of thought up by myself and Andy Smith, who is Tracy's dad. We started talking about it pretty soon after Tracy passed, and told him that I thought it would be really important and helpful to other people if we would be able to come up with a way to exhibit her writings and showcase them here at the Nature Center.
The objective was, I didn't want it to be a sad exhibit. I didn't want people to walk away from it feeling sad or crying or anything. I wanted them to see hope, you know, that there are good people, and that, you know, no matter what the adversity is and no matter what cross you have to bear, you can do so with a good attitude.
We put together a bunch of Tracy's blog writings from It's Positively Cancer, which she had a lot of support from and a lot of followers. It was her main outlet for healing and support.
Andy started going through his pictures, and he looked through the blog that she had written, Positively Cancer, and picked out some of her quotes.
It really captured who she was, and that probably was what stood out to me the most.
I remember the call, of course, but it was kind of different, as far as I'm concerned. You approach it with, oh, okay, so they'll remove your breasts and they'll put in new ones and you'll be fine, and it's no big deal. You know, because we've become so programmed to that nowadays. And so, you know, with Tracy, you just never even thought about it going anywhere.
She called me and said, you know, I found a lump. They think it's cancer. I'll know in a week. And then when she called me back and confirmed, I rushed right over to her house.
Initially, my response was just like it was a hangnail or something. It was like, you know, just do what the doctors say, and we'll get through it. It's not that big deal, you know.
It was funny when she first got diagnosed. She was like, I'm going to keep this really private. You know, I just think I want this to be my journey. And then she started writing about it and didn't really even tell me that she was going to start this blog. And it was really cool to see how many people healed from it and followed it, like even some of my coworkers. So it was really, really cool.
You'd see the sense of humor that she had, and the way she talks about, what do I do taking a shower now? You know, I got no hair, I got nothing to shave. I just stand there and get wet.
Well, she was such a great writer, first of all. I loved reading what she wrote. She was so good at just writing in her own natural voice, but she drew you in. I loved how she was able to be really authentic and real about what she was going through. But she always found a way to find positive, but she was really great at finding some humor amidst all of it, which was totally Tracy as well.
And the way she puts these things really put it in perspective in a charming and lighthearted way that almost took away some of the fear factor of, oh my God, she's got cancer, and she, you didn't sense that. And so I think it was more therapeutic for those who had the opportunity to read it all the time.
The name of the exhibit is called The Nature of Life and Death, the Tracy Smith Hamilton exhibit. And when you walk into the room, you start off with one side of the walls that highlights different aspects of nature, plants, animals, the moon, the stars, the sun setting, different cycles of life and the day, and how they tie into the bigger picture of life and death, and how everything has a means to an end. And then when you work your way around to the other side of the exhibit, that's a bigger focus on Tracy and her life and her story and the words that she was able to share with other people while she was fighting cancer.
It's an educational component for even kids. If you take your kids to the Nature Center, they can see this is why leaves change in the fall. It's part of the tree's cycle. And, the tree's letting go of its leaves, which is beautiful.
And that's what I wanted to reflect with Tracy's exhibit, that, this one simple blog had an impact because of the spirit and the attitude that she carried throughout this horrible chapter in her life.
That's what people remember her for, was just how awesome and fun and how much just joy that she brought to life.
She wanted to just be about life and about living each day and doing the ordinary things that you suddenly realize are so extraordinary.